Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the GospelStation.com Sports and Talk. It's another day and another stop on the Main Street of America Facebook Live Tour. We're at Relic Revival at 320 Elm Avenue in Yukon. A brand new items are always coming through these walls. And we are excited to be back here because we've got a special guest on for this one that's going to tell us a little bit about the store, if you would.
Hey y'all, this is Eric Brown. I'm the owner-operator here at Relic Revival. Just wanted to give you a little quick tour of the place, maybe highlight a couple items to talk about. There's a lot of cool stuff to check out, so let's get going.
All right, thanks for coming and doing this. And right as soon as you step in the store, you look up to the rafters, and that's a big seller immediately.
Yeah, I've got them stuffed high and low. I was running out of room, I was like, you know what, it's time to go vertical. So we've got them everywhere as far as signs go.
I love it. And there's a neon clock right there on top of that shelf. That's a big thing as well.
Yes, that is an original Aztec Cleveland neon, and that's a pretty good piece right there. If anyone's interested in that, we can work a deal on it. Just come up here and holler at me.
There you go. And that's how it works for everything in the store, right? Just come by, ask about it, and pretty much everything's got a story, right?
Yeah, I like to know a little bit about everything I have. I don't just bring stuff in here all willy-nilly. It's got to have a story. You're right about that.
And you and I were talking about the coin-operated stuff right before we started this live. I'll show one off right here.
Here's a really good example of a 1-cent Selecto VIN. It shows the different candies on a little tiny porcelain sign here. You've got Hershey's milk chocolate. You've got, I can't even read that one. Beach Nutrition, Dentine, B-Max, and Suchard Bitters. So a couple of those are still around. Some of them you might find in some specialty old-timey candy stores. But that's a really nice piece there. I could do like $275 on that.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
I knew about Hershey's, but no, I was over here looking at the 8-tracks. I got to say, on the way over, I told you I was listening to some Don Williams. You've got Don Williams over here. You've got Eddie Rabb. You've got a bunch of good names.
Yeah, there's some good artists in there, some classic country and stuff like that. I never thought I would sell any 8-tracks, but hey, I've been selling them. I've got them, and I've had several 8-track players and have sold every single one that I've had in here. I got to hunt another one down.
Some people have some good taste, Some people.
There's a really cool sign right there out of Troy, New York, an original ice cream sign from probably about the 1920s. That is an old big piece there, really cool.
I hadn't even noticed the Troy address on that when I was looking at it earlier.
Yep.
I would have never known that had come from New York otherwise. So we're just at the front part of the store. We're going to move along I guess that would be the west wall towards the back of the store and keep looking at some stuff. As we move back here on the shelf next to us, which we're going to turn to and take a quick peek at, there are some lunch boxes and things like that that also have some pretty decent stories, I've heard.
Well, yeah, we got some good lunch boxes here. Classic Dukes of Hazzard. This one I actually pulled out of a barn. It was covered in dust. I went to go buy a John Deere sign out in Kansas, and this happened to be the other thing that I walked home with. It belonged to the guy's son, and he had it in his barn ever since, just collecting dust. That's a good example here. Here's another one you don't see every day. This is the Beverly Hillbillies original lunchbox from 1960. Well, the date's on there, but I can't read it right now, but it's there. And that's a really good piece right there. This one, I have 160 on that one. Very good example. All of these actually have the thermoses with them.
Oh, okay. Just a little extra there, and a lot of it is original pieces, which...
Yeah, most everything in here, 98% of it is original. I've got a few like reproduction signs here and there, but all those I would point out to you. Not going to try to pass them off as originals.
That's that local quality service, right, that Relic Revival offers. And one thing that you pointed out to me now, Search on the Planet of the Vampires.
Yeah, that's a cult classic right there. That's an original movie poster. They only made around 270 of those, I think. 260, somewhere around that. That one is numbered. As a really cool piece as well. And it is framed, ready to hang.
It's going on my watch list now.
There you go.
We're now heading towards the back right corner. There's jerseys, there's clothing, caps, shirts, obviously. Along this wall, we've got posters, more signs, but actually, we got to point out some of the tin toys.
Oh yeah, there's some really good classic tin toys in here. Some are a little bit newer, but those are signed by the racers actually. This is a really cool piece here. That is an original tin toy from about the 1960s. Tom Corbett Space Cadet, and it does still work. It is operational and it is really cool.
That is really cool.
This one over here, it doesn't work as it was intended anymore, but it's just a really good shelf sitter at this point. This looks really cool. We have this bulldozer, which was made in the 1950s or 60s. It is Japanese, made by Linemar, and it is operational. And so is the little small one in there as well. And another hard one to find here is this little battery remote controlled plane here. And this one does work as well. I don't have the batteries in it, but it is operational. Very cool piece there.
I didn't even realize that was remote controlled right there.
Yep, it's remote controlled. I've got another one. Stay right there and I'll just grab it and show you.
Of course, while he's grabbing those, there are comics here as well, DC, Marvel, and a bunch of other independent publishers.
This one I just got in this week. It is a remote control battery operated police car made by Linemar as well. This would have been made in Japan also. In the box, looks like it was barely ever played with. That's a really good, hard to find piece there, especially with the box. Pretty amazing.
Pretty is a
and it does work as well.
Yeah. That's awesome right there. He's going to go put that back real quick, keep it in the box. I don't blame him on that one. Throughout here in Relic Revival, you'll see everything from, obviously, we've talked about the pop culture, but historical items. There's sports stuff as well. And obviously, I've been showing off the Oklahoma State jersey here. But let's go to the back now. Here's one of my favorite parts is the Star Wars minifigures.
Yep, got a bunch of minifigures. Here's a really good Grateful Dead poster. This is a kind of a historic poster. It's a very famous concert. It's famous for a reason you might not expect, though. This is the least attended Grateful Dead concert of all time. And the reason for that was there was a massive blizzard on February 6th in Tulsa, and about 15 people showed up to the concert. This poster was actually owned by the original artist. He didn't sell a whole lot of them. These were the original concert posters. It is signed down here by him as well, and it has his artist proof stamp in there. That is a cool piece there.
Those have got to be some real super fans.
Yeah, it's incredible the condition it is in after all that time in the ground, and might have even helped preserve it a little bit. So that's a really cool one there.
It was meant to be, I guess.
Yep.
You've got signed baseballs and a bunch of also autograph stuff up here on this wall. Not in addition to the signs, I'll say.
Yes, and all of these are JSA certified. We've got a Pink Floyd signed album as well. The baseballs, I have Al Kaline and George Brett that I can remember offhand. George Brett's a pretty hard signature to come by. He didn't sign a whole lot of stuff. But yeah, just a whole lot of nifty things to look around at.
I know someone who might like that Pink Floyd album. Tell you what.
Yeah.
I've got some friends with good taste, like we were saying.
Yeah.
The jewelry, the coins, these were also things you wanted to point out when we were preparing for this one.
We've got a lot of costume jewelry and some, sterling silver and a few gold pieces. Here's some really good coins that I recently got. Some proof examples and others as well.
Give the people a chance to take a look at those real close. Now, you've had a couple of customers coming in through here looking at some of the stuff. What were some of the things they were looking for?
Well, today we've had some people looking for some old magazines and yearbooks, and what else was I asked about? I'm drawing a blank here, but there's been a few things.
One guy was asking about the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's right. Yep, we had the Ninja Turtles. These are the original run, still in the package. These are getting quite collectible because all the dudes my age are reliving their childhood, and so these are some Really awesome in the box piece. It still has the sticker, unpunched. Very nice example. We've got a Michelangelo and a Donatello as far as those go. And then we have a few loose figures as well, a couple other tobacco tins and some other tchotchkes.
Of course, along the walls, and this whole time people have been seeing them in the video, like on the sides, posters of just every subject you can imaginable.
Yeah, there's a lot of different subject matters touched on. Try to touch all the bases as far as that's concerned.
And all of this is at 320 Elm Avenue out here in Yukon at Relic Revival. Make sure you do stop by. They're tagged in our Facebook Live tours. You can go to the social media that way. It'll help you find the website, find that contact info. We're heading back kind of towards the front of the store now. So is there anything we've missed that you would think you'd want to call out real quick?
Well, we've got a couple really cool can display. This one's an original city service. Now, the story behind that one belonged to a guy who whose grandfather owned the station. I honestly tried to talk him out of selling it. I was like, "What are you doing, man? That's a family piece." But his wife wouldn't let him keep it. So now it's in this store. And that is a cool early piece, dates probably to about the 1930s or 40s. Pretty awesome. Over here we have I've got a flange tree is what I call it. These are all flange signs. They're double-sided, made to hang on a wall and stick out so you can see them walking by both ways. There's some pretty good rare ones on there. We've got a Moxie Soda, Orange Crush, Public Telephone, a little bit of everything.
We need to get an Elm Avenue street sign to put up in here at some point, I think.
Yeah, we'll find one of those.
That'd be a good idea. Next time they change out street signs, how often do you think the city does that?
Probably every 20, 30 years, I would guess.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
Hey, we've been touring Relic Revival out here in Yukon. This is always a fun stop anytime you come by. I personally, before we started the tour, was looking at the music, was looking at the comics, was looking at some of the sports memorabilia. So there's always something here that will interest you. We've had families come in here. We've had individuals come in here. They're all looking through the amazing selection back here. And I promise everybody who comes by, you'll enjoy it too. If not because Eric is just such a great guy and a great owner.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you all soon. We can make a deal on something you love.
Yes, sir, and thank you for jumping on the Main Street of America Facebook Live tour to talk about the business a little bit. It was really fun.
You bet. Thank you.
Wouldn't get those kind of stories if I was doing it alone, that's for sure.
You're right about that.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back on the next stop on the Main Street of America Facebook Live tour. Thanks for stopping by with us for this one. Relic Revival out here in Yukon, 320 Elm Avenue. Stop by today. Pick yourself up a little piece of American history.